Let's talk about parameters in C++. There are two modes to pass parameters in C++. They are by value and by reference. So let's talk about them. So in C++, passing by value is the default way that arguments make it to inside functions. When a variable is passed in by value, the function takes it and makes a local copy of it to use within the function body. Any changes within the to the variable made within the function body are not visible outside. So let's explore that with an example. We had earlier created an example to calculate the perimeter of a rectangle, right? So in that function, if we modified the width, say, inside the function, it would not affect the variable used to pass that value in outside the function. So let's take a deeper look at what this means. So we have pretty much the same main and perimeter that we've used in earlier lessons. I have made a few changes, and those are highlighted in blue. So in main, I have created two variables, a and b, to hold the length and width. And b represents the width, and I printed out that b before calling perimeter was a particular value. Then I call perimeter with a and b, a for length and b for width, right? And afterwards, I print out the perimeter value that's returned by this function, and then I see whether b has changed or not. Within the perimeter function, I am getting two parameters. One is length and one is width. Within it, I am printing out the value of w, which is the local copy of the value that's passed in. We calculate the perimeter. I reset w after I've used it to 0, right? And I changed and I print that I've changed it to 0. I return from that function, and let's see what happens there, right? So actually, instead of reading it here, I will actually try it out in IDE. So let's go and do that. And we will print that out here, right? So let's see what it prints. So if I run it, what I will see is in main, it prints B as 4. Then W is a local copy of B, and we got it as 4 correctly. Then we changed it to 0. We calculated the perimeter, and then after coming back into main, we re-inspect the width again. It is as it was. So it was not affected by W being set to 0 within the function. Let's go back. The other way to pass a value is by reference, right? And this allows the function to access and modify the variable from within the function body instead of making a call. So when you're actually passing by reference, you are not passing a copy anymore. What you're passing is a location in memory to the variable that was passed in. So for this, to distinguish it, we use the symbol ampersand next to the data type. So let's see what this looks like. So I have another example here. Now I've genericized the function we'll have. Instead of calling it perimeter, we're calling it dimensions. And what this does, it not only it calculates the perimeter, but also calculates the area, right? So that's what it does. And now it is no longer returning the perimeter. We're returning it using the reference parameters that we have here. Within the main, we have a couple of new variables, which is basically peri to represent perimeter and area to represent area. Then we call dimensions on it, right? Notice we're not returning anything. All we're doing passing is locations to the memory of peri and area. And once those values are set within the function, they are represented outside, and we can inspect them from the outside, right? So let's actually try this one out. go back to the IDE, and then we will replace what we have there with this new program. We run it, and we'll see that, yeah, we do correctly get the perimeter and area, even though those values are being calculated within the dimensions function.